Hey y'all, welcome back to Ascending with Ashley. I'm Ashley. This is an unschooling episode. So as we've been doing more in the community art space, going to more events, being out in the world, I was unprepared for how many people would talk directly to Niall about going to school. So it's been an interesting thing to navigate. And I just wanted to get on here for other unschooling folks and share what we're doing. I don't necessarily tell people that we're unschooling. I think it's really interesting that adults ask children about school like that. Like, oh, are you going to go to school? Or are you excited to go to school? Or are you in school? So I swoop in. Niall's nonverbal. We're on the spectrum. And so I swoop in and I say, oh, we're homeschooling, And then everybody says, oh, well, this town is really great. A lot of the times the conversation includes autism. And people say, oh, there's like really great programs, which I don't doubt there are. I'm sure there's great programs. Today when we were at the market, we actually sat next to a special ed teacher in the elementary school. And that was cool. I am not ready for that. I want it to be known that for a lot of us parents, we think about these things before we have children. Unschooling has always been part of the plan before and regardless of an autism diagnosis. And I think especially with that now, unschooling will give us that flexibility to participate in other therapies and things when we get to that point, which we are navigating right now. It does take a formal diagnosis, so we are working through that. A few things I have to do to get us ready to do that. So, mostly insurance shit. So, I just find it really interesting. Not only because people like say that, but then like within the same conversation, I've heard we have really great programs and really great things. And then like I hear another side of it. And so it's just interesting. Some of the grandparents, so we've had a pretty consistent regular group come to the art space for the past month, which is great. I love that. But the grandmas were both educators in town. And so this past week, they were talking a lot about issues with the school system when like 2 weeks ago, they were telling me how great everything is. So I just want to get on here and talk to other parents because the societal pressure to send your children into a gun zone is pretty high. And so, it's not causing me to second guess any of my decisions. I know that we're not ready for school, even though he is going to be 5 next year. And also, like I said, that was never part of our plan, even before a diagnosis. I've always been planning to unschool, because I just know too much about the American school system. It's not something I want my son to be a part of. So anyway, I really just want to get on here and tell other parents because the pressure is pretty insane, So if it feels safe enough to share about unschooling, then do. But you can also just, use an umbrella homeschooling term, which is what we're doing. And when I do explain unschooling, if the conversation ever gets that far, which, depends. I just explained, like, unschooling is child-led. It's when the child shows interest in things then especially with autism, like it's very important for autistic kids to be doing things that they enjoy or are interested in, and balancing that with introducing new stuff. So anyway, we're just over here living our best life. And I just think about it because we've had a couple events in the past few weeks, and the conversation just, even just the other day when we were at the store, people said, "Oh, are you going to school?" So I just wasn't prepared for how many people, adults, would ask my son about school. I find it pretty interesting, honestly. So, so just stay strong, if you've chosen this path of unschooling or homeschooling or whatever it is that you're doing that's untraditional from, the American school system. Stay strong. It can be a little rattling to have folks, but I think it's ultimately just like, trust yourself, trust the decisions you've made, trust that the environment that you're providing your child is, what is best. I trust us, I trust in what we are doing, in the way that we learn. And I just know that structure, that much structure, would be really detrimental to Niall. He has a routine, but that's very different than structure. We have a lot of free space, free time, to allow self-direction, and then the resources of, materials and things to allow self-direction. And I don't think he would prosper at all in a school system. I feel like it would be really damaging. And I trust myself to make that decision as his mother. And then as far as government stuff, I'll check back with you guys around back to school, because I am going to be getting us ready to register him for homeschool, because it's that age. So we are going to have to do that, I think. I don't know. I still have to look into it. If that's what you're here for, I don't have the answers. There are some good resources. I can put them in the description box below. I think I have them in my notepad. A couple websites that other homeschooling parents have shared. And then I just want to end this on the two of the regulars that we have that are coming to our art space are older. They're 9 and 12, I think. But they do online schooling, which is not traditional. And their grandmother was actually an educator. So we've had some really good conversations. And yeah, not every kid is gonna learn the best way for them in the school system. And I think it's pretty astonishing how many adults start conversations with that. I think that's pretty interesting and irritating. So I just wanted to get on here and share. But other than that, I hope you all have a good one.